Okay, let's talk about Mandalorian Chapter 6, Episode 6, whatever the hell you want to call it. This new episode that came out yesterday, as of us talking here.
Yeah.
Okay, this one was definitely more my style of what I like myself. Definitely over the last one, but it's kind of weird that we still didn't get any answers about who the hell she was meeting at the end of the last one. So that's whatever. This is kind of, again, its own thing where the Mandalorian is meeting up with an old contact to make some money, basically. He can't get jobs from the Bounty Hunters Guild anymore because he killed a bunch of them and they hate him. So,
Well, yeah. They all want to kill him. You know.
yeah.
It goes.
So, yeah, this is the way. So yeah, he reaches out to an old contact, and it just so happens the old contact has a job for him, and it's basically the whole episode is a heist movie, essentially.
Yeah.
Done really quickly.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I was stoked about that for sure. Oh, excuse me, I'm a little sleepy today. So people were saying that this is just a throwaway thing, but I really like it. So I really like this one. So
also,
yeah.
people, I mean, it's also a sign people weren't paying attention because if you look at the writing credit lists, you can tell Jon Favreau comes back for the last two, and he wasn't writing this one. So clearly it was going to be its own thing. Like the last episode was the other one he didn't write.
I was kind of wondering if like it would tie in the other one somehow, but it really doesn't. It just set something up.
No.
So that's kind of interesting that it's setting up another thing even. So it's called The Prisoner, and the basic idea is the job is a Mandalorian is supposed to take a crew of 4 others into a, I guess, New Republic, like, which is basically the Imperials now. Like, the Rebels have taken over in this timeline, essentially, and they are the New Republic. So it's a New Republic freighter ship, aka prisoner ship, that's apparently run only by droids. So they're breaking somebody out of prison, essentially, before the prison reaches its point where it's going to hyperspace back to, like, headquarters, essentially, and they will unload the prisoners. Among the people that he teams up with are Bill Burr, the comedian that's known for just saying a bunch of swears and being Bostonian or whatever, for better or worse, depending on what your mood is when it comes to comedy.
He's a little extra. Oh, that gun arm.
Yeah, he's an ex-Imperial sharpshooter, apparently, that gets really mad when he's compared to Star Troopers, because apparently he was more than a Star Trooper or a Stormtrooper. And what that means is that he has a little gun that comes out of his back, like a little gun arm that shoots.
It's so cute.
That shoots a third gun along with his other two. In his other
I would
hands.
buy that upgrade in a video game.
I would buy that upgrade in life to do like a whole bunch of stuff. Feed me a sandwich while gaming. Man. Oh, that would be so good. Take notes. Yeah. Just like be really creepy and act like a spider or something. Like, there's a lot of things you could do with an extra arm that comes out of your back. But other than that, he's just like a human, basically. He's an ex-Imperial dude. There is a, I guess, Hulk equivalent, we'll call him. I can't remember what they're called. I think it's like a Devorian or Devonian or something. It's
the race based on the dude that showed up in a demon costume in the episode in Star Wars, the original.
Yeah, they actually say what
demon dude. So yeah. But I mean, they made that a race just because there's a demon dude in this Star Wars movie. So we have to fill in that lore.
Right. Anyways, it's one of those.
Like going back to that, those like tiny things.
Yeah.
Of Star Wars.
Yep.
I really like bringing an obscure thing like that back.
So they brought that back where this dude is super strong. He's the muscle of the group. That's kind of his thing. He's like not as big as the Hulk. Like he's tall, but other than that, he's not like huge or bulky, muscly or anything. He's just extraordinarily strong.
He's more of a killer croc.
More like a killer croc. Yeah. That's a way deeper cut than probably a Deveronian.
Hey, he was in that Suicide Squad movie.
You're right. That's a deep cut. That's a stab in the back, bringing that thing up. That's what that is.
They're making a sequel, sort of, I guess.
No, they're redoing a Harley story because they want to try to make good. It's a little different, but yes. One of my least favorite races is featured kind of heavily in this, the Twi'leks. I fucking hate Twi'leks, and I don't know why. Maybe it's like a racism thing, but for people who like want to picture one in their head, picture like if you've played Mass Effect, picture like an Asari or whatever, the blue female characters, and then picture two like weird tentacles instead of hair that like they have tentacle heads basically, and are just like generally shown in the lore as sexy blue females. Yeah, but there's a few other creepy Twi'leks in the series as well.
I will say it's a weird thing for them because it's like I don't think anything of it when I see them on screen, but if I actually stop and think about what it would be like to have a giant fleshy tentacle coming out of your head,
yeah, absolutely disgusting. For sure. Yeah. And she is strangely like maybe an ex-lover or like love interest to the Mandalorian or something. We don't like get a whole lot of it, but there's kind of a like there's definitely what I would call like sexual tension between those two. Yeah. And then it seemed like he had to do something to survive that made it so maybe she had a harder time in life or something. They don't get into it, but she's mad at him and doesn't like him, but like is playing nice, I guess. We'll get into more of that as we talk about the episode more. And then, of course, there's a robot, because there's always a robot named Zero, I believe, who's just like a smart bot. I don't know. There's not a whole lot to talk about with him.
He's very proud
about being smart and being quicker than, I don't remember what he says, but basically quicker than normal, like mammals or whatever, or people with like his reflexes and stuff, which is why he's kind of steering the ship to get in position and quickly get them in and out. So he's kind of the pilot.
Masking some insecurities. And
for sure.
Overcompensating.
For sure. Definitely. And the Mandalorian's part in all of this is he's running with, besides her and besides the girl that we talk about, the Twi'lek, he's getting the overseer of this job or whatever, the one bringing them all together. They used to work together in a group as well. So it's his job. But the reason why he's here is because his ship isn't registered at all and hasn't been impounded ever. Like, it's kind of off the grid, so it can sneak in undetected by either old Imperial or, like, new... what's it called? The new... I can't remember what the resistance thing is. But, yeah, it can't be detected easily, basically, by their scanners.
And like the Mandalorian's like, you can't use my ship, and it's like we're only putting you in this job because of your ship.
Because of your ship, yeah. But then also because I mean, Mandalorians are the best warriors in the universe, sort of thing. So, you know, it's not that he's going to be a hindrance by like existing in this. So yeah, it's good to have him in there. Also, there's a whole reason that we'll get to why he's here at all. But yeah, okay. So there's not a whole lot to talk about. They have a plan. there's some good, I think the thing I like here is that there's some good banter here where we learn more about just like skeezy people in like space pirates just talking to each other, and none of them like really trust each other, and they're like all, I don't know. I just really like that stupid heist movie bullshit that this episode had the whole time.
Yeah, man.
And Bill Burr just being like a dick for no reason. And also being like the least competent one by far, we find out of all of them. Like, he just kind of sucks, really. He's just a dude with a little fucking hand with a gun on it. Like, it's stupid. But the reason I like it is because, as I've said before, I like all the times we get to see the Mandalorian like show why he's like so legendary and why he's a badass. Yeah. And this episode is literally just, yo, the Mandalorian's a badass though. Like, that's all this episode is. Because the long and the short of it is the person they're getting out of prison is the Twi'lek's brother, who was part of the old crew with him. And they betray the Mandalorian and try to like leave him to basically just rot away in prison, essentially, or whatever. They don't care what happens to him. And what it ends up becoming is the Mandalorian breaking out of prison, locking down the ship, and systematically murdering them, essentially, one by one.
It's really good.
It's really good, yeah.
I love this shit.
Yeah, it's so up my alley, for sure. That being said, it is one of those things, again, where if you're just like, I love what they've set up in this world, I can't wait for a payoff, this isn't that episode. This is a standalone thing completely, again. So I could see why people would, like, get annoyed, but I don't agree.
Yeah, and I just think they weren't paying attention if they thought this episode was going to answer stuff. Like, this...
Yeah.
This was going to be another standalone episode, and then the final.
Right.
Going to be the conclusion. That's just how the season is set up.
Yep. So yeah, he splits them all up into like one-on-ones, basically, starting off with the strong guy, and takes him out in one of the coolest ways, just like the standard like Han Solo like kind of lucking in, but also like brilliant way of taking him out, of like he closes a door on him, or tries to, but the dude's strong, so he's holding the door up, and then it's like, and then he just like closes the other door on him to like knock him out. That goes the other way while he's like hands are full. It's just one of those like things that like looks like he looked into it but probably planned it all along. It's just so good. It's really good.
Also, we left out the thing that happens. That's the reason all these characters have to get taken down, which is that they pick up Baby Yoda and then drop him. So fuck them. They all need to be taken out.
Oh yeah, I guess that's the thing too, is that they called Baby Yoda his pet and asked him what it was, and then he hides him again. Oh, and also this whole time, the getaway driver, Zero, the robot, is like looking around for Baby Yoda because he's interested to see what it is and like probably steal him or do something terrible, and Baby Yoda is hiding from him while this is all going on the like prison
and there's
ship.
Like when he like finds him finally, there's like a moment where like, oh no, is Baby Yoda gonna use the Force on him again? Mandalorian just shows up and shoots him
in the head. Yeah,
yes,
it's really good. Okay,
but when they drop Baby Yoda, it's like,
yeah,
it's intense because they really drop it. They really drop that object, and
they really do
the ground like a rock. Like,
yep.
No.
Poor Baby Yoda. So they have to go down. I don't remember her name. I don't know if they even gave her one, but the Twi'lek, the female Twi'lek, is like, think like a standard rogue archetype. So she's like quick and agile.
With a knife
and knives. Yeah, she throws knives basically. So that whole fight is basically she throws a knife and like disarms the Mandalorian's gun, like the gun from his hand, and they kind of have a one-on-one duel, and he bests her by taking one of the knives and just like keeping it at her throat.
There's also like normal bullies about the Mandalorian's helmet. They like try to like
Yeah, show your face or whatever. Yeah. They want him to take it off so bad. That's true. Yeah. Also, they say maybe he's a Gungan under there. No wonder you have it on.
They do say that.
They make fun of him. And they're also a little racist about it. He says something like, Misa, no, I don't remember what he says exactly, but he makes some like derogatory thing in Misa.
Talks in Gungan.
Yeah.
Heavy quotes.
Yeah. It's fucking weird.
They're pieces of garbage.
They are pieces of garbage.
Well established as pieces of garbage.
Yep, for sure. Then he takes out the Bill Burr character, who also had a name that I don't remember because who gives a shit. Do you remember it? Yeah, I don't. Okay. Also, New Republic was the thing I was looking for. It just popped back in my head of what they're called. And his whole thing's really stupid. Basically, he's like gets seen by some droids, like some guard droids. He shoots them all after shooting way too many shots for like having to kill only 3 fucking droids. Like he like unloads all his guns and it only kills like 3 of them. So he sucks. Like he is fucking terrible. And the Mandalorian basically just holds a gun to his head. Like he does like nothing because he sucks. Like he can't fight him. And he knows it. And then the final guy is the prisoner that they escaped with or whatever. And he's about to escape. The Mandalorian holds him at gunpoint and he convinces him that, like, you live by a code. This is the way, and kind of makes fun of him. Like, you have to take me in because you took a job or whatever. And the Mandalorian agrees and kind of, like, keeps him as prisoner or bounty, if you will, and brings him back to the main dude who gave the job. Yeah, he gets there, main dude, gives him the money, he gives over the prisoner, and then he's sets up a like attack ship or whatever to chase after and kill the Mandalorian. But the Mandalorian, it was a double cross, and then it was a reverse double cross, just like a heist movie where the Mandalorian knew that it would be a double cross, so he double crossed him by taking a transponder that brought the New Republic fleet at the like little base that they had, and that's basically the whole episode.
I really like when the X-Wings show up.
Yeah,
because I really like the reversal of, oh shit, X-Wings are fucking scary. They're just gonna wreck shit.
Yeah, and I like and that you're looking at it from the other side, because before it was the TIE fighters, or no, it's the TIE fighters now. No, it's the X-Wings now. Before it was the TIE fighters that you were just like, oh shit, or whatever. Yeah. But now it's like, oh, the good guys are here, but that's bad because we care about the bad guys or something. I don't know. It was a cool reversal for sure. Interesting things to note about this episode. There is one human character on the prisoner ship, and there shouldn't have been. And that kind of throws the Mandalorian off, because the Mandalorian apparently doesn't mind murdering every single robot in the galaxy, but he doesn't kill humans or like people anymore, essentially. So we find out that he actually didn't murder the people double crossing him that he was working with. He just threw them in a jail cell together to like rot, basically.
Yep.
That was kind of interesting to see that he doesn't like straight up murder people, but like robots are fair game, which is why he fucking murked that one that was about to grab Baby Yoda, like just blew his head up.
He loves to murder a robot.
Yeah.
Give a droid to murder, he's pig and shit.
For sure. It's kind of funny how another like really cool part that I liked is when you first like see a bunch of the guard droids spot them, and they're kind of like, well, go after him to the Mandalorian, and then they look back and the Mandalorian's gone, and they're like, oh, typical or whatever. Then you just like look ahead and the Mandalorian's behind the droids, and he just fucking murders all of them easily. Like, it's so fucking cool. Specifically when he pulls that one droid's head off and then pulls the other droid down and then blows his head off, like right in front of the camera. That stuff's so cool. Oh my God. This is it sucks doing a recap and talking about this episode, because this is one that, like, for me was a visual feast, because like the way you recap this is it's a weird heist episode, and then it turns into like almost a weird horror episode for a little bit, and then it ends like, but everything that happens is just visually interesting.
Yeah. One of the things I really like about this one is like how fast it moves. Like boom, 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 boom. Stuff is happening.
Yeah.
And I appreciate it.
So I'm going to sound like a broken record by saying this yet again, that I wish this was an hour-long episode. I would have liked this drawn out more. Like, I would have liked more done in this space. And it made me realize at this point that, like, the Star Wars stuff I like is just what The Mandalorian's giving me, and it's not giving me enough of it. Like, this is all stuff I would have... If there was just a movie series of, like, The Mandalorian, that's what I'm into, apparently. And I just didn't know it. So I'm, like, a little frustrated when it's like, there's not, like, another hour of this, though? Like, this seems like it could be so long and cool. That's my only issue. Still, is that I just want more, but... It's not as bad as before, where before it really felt like, okay, like they really needed to write in what's happening here. They really needed to not speed this up, and I felt like I didn't get enough of it. I felt like I got enough here, but I want more of it because it was so badass, is the difference here. I just loved it. I really like this episode.
Yeah. No, I like that the shorter episodes. I just wish there were going to be more than 8.
Yeah.
Like, I find it funny that people are like, oh, fucking nothing happened. Yeah, I want like 20 episodes. Nothing happens if they're like this.
Totally. Yeah, but like, so much happens. If you're just
going to do this forever. Like, I don't need the like ongoing plot stuff to be happening every episode. I don't need mysteries uncovered or whatever. I just need action stuff to happen and like cool characters that get murdered and then people quipping and Baby Yoda's there. Like, I'm fine with all that. That's just good TV. Like, I like all that shit.
There's some good Baby Yoda in here. The drop, even though it's like heart-wrenching, is also like cute in its own weird way. There's a lot of him just like trying to hide and walking around and kind of peeking around corners with his ears being all like cute. There's a few parts of him holding his
Baby Yoda.
Of him holding his little claws out, his hands. Yes. Like there's not a lot of Baby Yoda in this, but every time he's on screen, it's a treat for sure. I'm a big fan.
Paul, you're muted for me in Discord.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I don't know, man. Baby Yoda, just so good. I absolutely adore him. Yeah. Some other things. Oh, we're still keeping in where the Mandalorian likes to overuse his flamethrowers. He uses them like maybe 3 times. I remember 2 specifically where he burns a robot for sure, but he burns a robot with both of them at the same time instead of just one, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then he tries to burn the big dude whose name I still don't remember, and that doesn't
demon
work.
Guy. No, he's a demon. Of course, fire doesn't work on him. Are you crazy?
Yeah,
they just that had to happen.
Yeah,
like they had to do that joke.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of like other just really cool parts. The weird Mexican standoff I thought was kind of funny in like the standard Star Wars way of like he's about to kill the human guy and the Mandalorian's like, we don't kill humans or whatever, and points the gun at Bill Burr's character. Bill Burr's like, don't point the gun at me, and points the gun at him, and they're all arguing and whatever, and then she just throws a knife and kills the dude. Like, that's pretty good, I thought. I liked that. Just And like, I don't know. I found it weird that they kind of set him up as he doesn't kill people. I guess I'd never noticed before because I thought he did before, but then I also guess that he's every time we've seen him like get a bounty or whatever, it's been somebody else that's either killed them or like he's brought them in alive.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
He didn't kill Carl Weathers' his character. He shot him in the
So like
thing.
Weird. I guess I didn't realize that until like I really thought about it and looked back. Is like, oh yeah, the only things he has killed have been robots, hasn't it? And I'm sure. Listen, it's because Disney's doing this, and like I get that,
Yeah,
right? I get that,
yeah.
But it's also kind of interesting that like this is like a character thing for him as well. That they kind of wrote it in that he doesn't like It's nice to see that he didn't shoot somebody in the first episode and all of a sudden now they wrote him as not being a killer.
No, it's an interesting thing to like slowly you realize it's a thing.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't expect it given his like that's what makes it interesting is that you really wouldn't expect it given that he's a bounty hunter and he's a warrior class person like that he just is averse to killing people is novel for that kind of character.
But he's murdered Jawas.
Oh yeah. Fuck Jawas.
Okay, I guess that's fair. He also has vaporized a few bounty hunters, but I mean, when it's self-defense, like, I get it, right? Like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Somebody's pointing a gun at you, like, you still have to survive. So, I don't know. And also, they weren't main characters, like Carl Weathers' character. So, he was allowed to kill those ones. I don't know. It's weird. I don't have a whole lot more to say about this episode. It's kind of just like if you like heist movies and like The Mandalorian, this is going to be your jam, basically, I think.
Again, this one got back to be feeling like, oh, yep, this could be issue 6 of the Mandalorian comic. Yeah. And it was written by a comic book writer also.
Totally. Yep, totally. I totally agree with you.
So that fit into my view of the show when it's good. That I think, I don't know, that last episode was just easily the weakest. I'm just really glad that we stopped the trend of the episodes getting worse.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That one around.
I still don't think this is like one of the stronger ones of all of them, but it's very good. This is like, the thing is that the other ones seem like they all fall in line to what I want a Mandalorian movie to be. And this seems like what I want a Mandalorian show to be. Like, I want this on every, like, Wednesday at 7 or something on ABC, you know? Like, this is what I want for, like, 15 years, like, season 15 of The Mandalorian. Like, and the other ones are just, like, this is a neat story thing they're doing that I kind of want, like, all of at one time. Yeah. No, I really like this a lot. This reminded me of Firefly a lot, too, in a lot of the way it's written and kind of rolls or whatever. So I was a huge fan, and I hope there's more like this, but I know that there won't be. So, you know, that hope is kind of dead. I don't know. Do you have any closing thoughts about this?
Not really. I think I got out everything I had to say. I just really like those X-Wings showing up and the look of them.
Yeah.
And that whole thing.
Yep.
And like because you just think of like a different point in history, this would be a Star Destroyer showing up and it would be like the thing that wrecks them. But now it's like 3 X-Wings are like the thing.
For sure.
It's just like, but it's also, I just like the scale of like them that being like as scary given just the perspective of the people who are getting called in on.
For sure. Yeah.
Like they just get completely fucked up by those X-Wings.
I guess also that this is probably the first episode where I could say, if you wanted just like a solid half an hour of like a fun episode to watch, you could watch this without knowing anything else about the series so far. This is just it's so standalone. Like, you'll get a little confused maybe seeing like why Baby Yoda exists, but it's so minimal because the main story part has like nothing to do with anything else that's been talked about here at all. Like, you would know as much as we do. We don't know about his past with the Twi'lek. We don't know about his past with the group or whatever, or why they want to like basically kill him or double cross him or whatever, or get revenge or whatever. We know nothing about that. So it's a good, I think it would be a good episode if you just wanted to like watch a good half an hour of TV.
Oh, the other thing I'll say, I think this episode and the last episode is a good contrast for like this episode does deep cut Star Wars references in a way that I think works, whereas the last episode felt super indulgent about it.
Yeah.
Like there's tons of fucking references and stuff that's in this, but it's worked in and subtler than just, oh, here are some pit droids.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Remember Tatooine?
Remember Tatooine?
Remember
this bar seat?
Literally this whole scene. You remember this scene? The only thing I want is I want more Cara Dune. That's all I want, though.
I know. What the fuck? Where is she? What happened?
What happened? I want my baby back. All right, well, I'm excited because we only have to wait 5 days now instead of 7 for the next one. And then the movie comes out like the day after, so I have a feeling you and I are going to be talking a lot of Star Wars next week at this time. Yeah. So, yeah. That should be interesting. But, we'll leave it at that for now. To be continued. Episode 7 next week.
Next week.